where we are following several budget hearings happening right now. Meanwhile, the House committee in charge of all tax-related matters just wrapped up its overnight debate. It's passed a portion of a GOP budget plan aimed at advancing President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. It's one of three subcommittees that met on Tuesday to discuss the reconciliation package. Now, the other two are still ironing out other details over potential Medicaid cuts and a reduction in the SNAP program. House Speaker Mike Johnson spoke about the bill and how Democrats are impeding its progress. Take a listen.
We're going to slash taxes, including on tips, overtime, Social Security for seniors and job creators, restore American energy dominance, as you've heard, secure our border and deport illegal aliens. We're going to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, return to peace through strength, and reduce spending all at the same time. And as we're working to get this done, House Democrats are working overtime to deceive the American people about this. We've discussed it already this morning, but they're not talking about what the bill actually does. They're using talking points that are pretty stale. They're not afraid to lie about what's in it, and we're not afraid to tell the truth about what the Democrats are doing.
Let's bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. Caitlin, I want to start with these committee meetings. We just received news that one of those committees attempted to adjourn, but then that motion was rejected. So what happened there?
Yeah, this has been a marathon of a day going into day 2 of these committee markups. The House Energy and Commerce Committee wanted to adjourn for really just a break, and that didn't pass. So they are continuing to go. They started yesterday, went through the night, and are continuing today. This is a key committee to watch, Liz, because this is the committee charged with finding those cuts or savings, as House Republican leadership would call it, to Medicaid and other social safety net programs. The big sticking points around that are how much to cut. The bill itself suggests strengthening the work requirements around qualifying for Medicaid, but there are other questions about what that will exactly look like. Basically, these committees are going through the process kind of line by line in the legislation to approve it and move it forward to the final House vote. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson says that they are still on track to do that. In other words, get all the committees finished with their work, get the big, beautiful bill, as the president calls it, to the full House floor for a vote by next Friday before Memorial Day recess. That is a big uphill climb. The Speaker likes to say he doesn't like to be underestimated and has followed through with promises that he has made in terms of timeline, but there are some really key sticking points. I mean, chief among them is this squabble between moderate Republicans and more conservative Republicans over a specific state and local tax deduction known as SALT. There are several members from blue states that want a higher deduction available than what is currently written. And so they are trying to, and they represent high tax states, so they're trying to get that worked in. By and large, the bottom line is there are still lots of hurdles that need to be overcome in order to get this through to the full House vote. And then even then, you can't even talk about full passage until it gets through the Senate. And already on the Senate side, Republicans are expressing some disappointment and concerns about some of the text that they've seen so far.
Caitlin, I want to pivot now to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's got two testimonies today, or multiple testimonies today. We know he's asking for less money for his department. What can you tell us about his agenda today?
Yeah, and it's important to note that this is the first time that he has faced a congressional hearing since his confirmation hearing a couple of months ago. So this is part of the accountability process. Also, you're seeing a lot of cabinet secretaries up here on the Hill this week and last week because they are asking for money or budget approvals for their respective agencies. Now, HHS has delivered lots of cuts across the board, and there were a lot of questions in this hearing earlier today and another coming in the Senate this afternoon about those cuts. Kennedy said that he reinstituted some of the cuts. He was also asked about the uptick that we've seen in measles cases. He was asked point blank, do you think that people should get the vaccine? He said that if it were me, I would, but I'm not one to give medical advice. So there is a certain layer of accountability that lawmakers up here wanted for Kennedy when they voted to confirm him, and we're seeing a little bit of that play out today.
And Caitlin, one last question. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Noem also at Capitol Hill for a budget hearing. But there's another issue she addressed involving Congress members at an ICE facility. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, over the weekend, a handful of Democratic lawmakers went to an ICE facility, a detention facility in New Jersey, and they had a skirmish with ICE officials there. Noem has called this unacceptable. The DOJ now is looking into an investigation into those lawmakers. Here's what Secretary Noem had to say about this in front of the committee today.
There were members of this very committee that took part in an action at Delaney Hall on May 9th that need to be addressed. I served as a member of Congress in this body for 8 years, and I understand the importance of congressional oversight. What happened on May 9th was not oversight. It was a political stunt that put the safety of our law enforcement officers, our agents, our staff, and our detainees at risk.
Now, there are some questions up here about whether there will be consequences for those members. House Speaker Mike Johnson said that there could be. They are just kind of working out what that actually may look like, whether it's a censure or something even more consequential. So we'll have to stay tuned for that.
Caitlin Huey-Burns live for us on Capitol Hill. Great to see you, Caitlin. Thanks so much.